Matt, it was $140,000 difference by selling through Pink than if he would have sold traditionally on the sale of this house. That's a big deal. And so for me, you got to believe in what you're doing, right? I believe in Pink. I believe the business model, but everybody wins. And for us, that was a huge deal.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the VIP Financial Ed channel. My name is Matthew, one of the hosts here on the channel, along with Michael Matthew, who's been a co-host of mine since April. And you guys, I'm going to ask for your forgiveness on the front end of this video, just from any audio quality issues or lighting issues. This is a brand new space that I just purchased here in Florida, closed this week. And unfortunately don't have furniture, much less the proper recording equipment here with me for this video. But I didn't want to wait to get this content out and invite Shawn, my guest on today's episode, to share a little bit about his experience, his recent experience over the last, boy, I'll have to even ask him exactly when his start date was with the Little Pink Houses of America crew. As you guys know, if you followed this channel, it's one of the most important aspects to me when I'm talking about other types of business models to help grow your cash flow or your earnings potential, to actually have people who are participating in those business models to share what their experiences are like. I don't want you to take it from me or from the firsthand creator of that business model, because of course you may be getting something jaded. I think having the POV from somebody that's actually living and breathing the day-to-day responsibilities of that business in a box, as they call it, to really talk about the good and the bad that comes with that business, gives everybody a much better understanding of what to expect on the front end, so you can sort of screen yourself out if it's not a great fit for you. So that's what I want to do today. And I had a conversation recently before Thanksgiving with today's guest, Shawn, and Shawn is a married guy. I've personally admired what he is ambitiously pursuing since the first time we spoke. Full transparency, Shawn is was a recent graduate of the VIP coaching membership as well. So he's been through both programs and can speak to both of those, but we're going to be really focusing more on the Pink side. And in our recent wrap-up session, when he was winding down his VIP coaching, we talked a little bit about Pink, and he sort of reminded me of some of the things that were going on in his life at the time we first spoke in his assessment call. And that's where I pre-screen people personally for our coaching. And I remember at that time that he was, his wife was pregnant and was going to be giving birth anytime. He was in the process of looking to author a book. He was building out a course at that time, had this, he preaches the gospel and was talking a lot about creating a brand surrounding love and the love initiative and a lot of cool stuff that was going on. I was just thinking, man, there's a lot of moving pieces here. And he kind of mentioned that, hey, he had gotten started with the Pink Houses thing along the way, and that there was a little bit of resistance he was facing with his wife, Cheryl, not necessarily sharing his enthusiasm about the business model. So love to touch on that with you guys today and kind of get his viewpoint. Maybe some of you are thinking about getting into business for yourself, or you're perhaps in the starting point of business and running into that same type of maybe imbalance between yourself and your significant other. How do we get around that? What are some of the other obstacles that he faced? What are some of the things that might disqualify you as being a good candidate for this business model? So we're going to touch on all of that. We're going to do it in under 10 minutes. So Shawn, thank you so much for taking the time and for your willingness to be vulnerable here on the video and just share your candid input.
Absolutely. My pleasure. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
So let's just kind of take it back to the beginning. Give me approximate maybe month and year when you started with Little Pink Houses.
So Aiden was born May 20th, 2019, and we saw Pink on VIP. And that's when we first reached out to Michael Matthew. And so that was like probably March of 2019. Yeah, March. And, my wife's pregnant. She can't travel, can't do anything, but we really talked about it. Actually, it goes way back to before we got married. We talked about finances and stuff before we got married, kids and all these kinds of things. Where we're at with our, debt, everything. We just laid it all out on the table. And we both talked about real estate being a vehicle for us to create wealth. Not just for us financially. We want to be wealthy, but we want to be able to help a lot of people. And you need financing and funding to do that. So we felt that was a vehicle. Cheryl had already bought a duplex, and we live in one side currently. And then our goal is to obviously buy a home, our own home, and use this as a rental. So she had an uncle who was in real estate. I had a friend in real estate. was buying in Ohio and got us really excited. And then I saw Little Pink Houses and it just clicked, man. The business model, it just made a lot of sense to me. And hearing you and learning from you as well, and you basically saying this is a great opportunity, to me, it clicked. And that's when we got started. And obviously she's going through hormones. She's going through all that stuff during that time. We did pray about it. We both decided that it was a good move. And, you know, she wasn't fully on board. I mean, she was on board, but she didn't get to go to the training. She didn't get to meet Scott and Michael and the team. She didn't get to see the big picture in the beginning. So she was supportive, but she wasn't fully on board where she is today. And that's actually kind of been recent. I think we talked about that through the mastermind. Little Pink just had a mastermind that we were a part of, a group, and she finally got to come to a training. There was 3 trainings in 6 months, and she came to 2 of them. And after the first time meeting our coaches, meeting Scott, we even got to have lunch with Scott, and he got to share just the bigger vision. She caught it, man. And it's been a game changer for our business since that happened.
So now that you guys are united, you have a different momentum.
100%. It was a game changer. I wish it would have happened sooner, just because, you know, the pandemic, it was a little slow for us out here in Cali. We're in Southern California for inventory. We did close some deals, but it wasn't happening as fast as we wanted it to. And then we had to make some changes, and now things are going really well, and we're super excited about her. She's like, babe, I got to help you now. Like she really caught it, you know, and just having that support and being unified together as one unit, I think has been, it was worth every dollar we spent to go to training, everything. It's just long-term. I think that'll be the catalyst for us looking back going, hey babe, remember when we went to training, you finally met the team, you saw their heart, you got to meet other affiliates. You got to meet other affiliates from around the country, and they all have the same spirit and the same heart of, we want to be successful for our own families, but we also want to do it so we can help other people. And that's just kind of the spirit of Pink, which I love.
So for those that are listening to this and haven't necessarily seen any other videos, I'll throw a playlist in the description below so that you can really kind of go through and see what the ins and outs of the business model are. We're not going to dive into that specifically today. I want to talk meat and potatoes. Tell me what you made on your last deal.
Yeah, so the last deal, we made the total amount was $25,000. That's our first payment, or our first score. And then we'll make $5,000 on the first month's payment. And the only reason we haven't received that yet is because we had we're going through an eviction of tenants. So once they're out, first month's payment, and then $5,000 on the back, you know, and then Pink gets a portion of that. So we're going to walk away with probably $28,000.
Wow. And tell me this. So we talk a lot about the potential of putting in, say, 10, 15, 20, 25 hours per week, right? Part-time, right. What I like to call a side empire. I choose not to use the term side hustle, where it sort of diminishes the effort that you should be focusing on this, what really has unlimited upside potential, while on the other side, putting 40 hours of commitment onto something that has a capacity, which is the day job, right? So I like to give it better credit than that. Is that totally doable, where you could see $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 per month? What are you anticipating earning in 2022 through Little Pink Houses? So
we own 2 affiliates. We own like the LA, Southern California market, and then we also own Boise, Idaho. And so last year, because of the pandemic, I didn't have any boots on the ground. My wife's a pharmacist, and so she didn't want us traveling at all. So I didn't get to really go there. I now have a guy there on the ground. I just recently went to Idaho, met a couple of the real estate people, met with our attorney. So we're going to get that going as well. So we really haven't done much with Idaho yet. But our goal is $300,000. That's our goal currently for Pink next year.
How many hours are you planning on working to earn that?
Well, I have the ability. My wife works full time as a pharmacist, and then I speak and I write. But this is my full time thing. So I'm putting in as many hours as possible. So okay. Our goal is to bring my wife home so she can work part time. We want to have another baby, and you know, I think it probably would have been possible if it wasn't for the pandemic. But we're through that. We have more ways to generate income now through Pink, and so I'm excited about it. I think we're going to hit our mark, and I think it's very doable. But I'm going to put as much time as I can because we're just in that situation, which is great. So definitely, I'm a dad too, stay-at-home dad, right? So take care of Aiden, and then our in-laws come and help, which is amazing. So I can work because he's so active, and any parents know that with kids. So, but yeah, we're going to put as many hours as possible, man.
So for anybody that's interested in learning more for themselves, you can always email pink@vipfinancialeducation.com. I'll throw that email in the description below as well. Make sure you put your first name, last name, and phone number so that Michael Matthew or his team can reach out to you guys and start the dialogue. I mean, this is not for everybody. So let's talk a little bit about who you think this might not be good for. After you've done this for some time, Shawn, and you've seen it's not smoke and mirrors, you've actually received some payouts, you've seen money back in your hands.
Right.
Who should rule themselves out and not waste the time in order to pursue even a conversation about this?
Yeah, I would say anybody that's not willing to be a doer, right? Doers get things done. Somebody that's not self-motivated, that just doesn't doesn't value themselves. If you don't value yourself, then you're not going to put in the work to fulfill your dreams and visions, right? So I really think anybody can do this. But if you're not willing to, if you're just going to sit back and do nothing, you can't do anything in life and be successful and do nothing. Like, I was a really good basketball player. The only reason I was because I spent lots of time practicing, training, exercising, all that stuff. And so I've learned a lot in 2 years with Pink. And so I just think the person that this isn't for is if you're not willing to work. But man, they've made it excuseless to not win. I just can't talk highly enough, second to none, on the training and the support. That was a big reason why we got started. And we're a big fan of helping people, just helping people. We love people, man. And we talked about how much money I made on that last deal. However, the seller, man, he made so much money. He's going to make so much money in this 2 years of working with us. We're not just helping people save a couple $1,000s and make a couple thousand. I mean, Matt, it was $140,000 difference by selling through Pink than if he would have sold traditionally on the sale of this house. That's a big deal. And so for me, you got to believe in what you're doing, right? I believe in Pink. I believe the business model, but everybody wins. And for us, that was a huge deal. So I think sales is all about educating, valuing people, and helping them come to a conclusion. And the byproduct of that is getting paid a lot of money. So I love helping people. If you love helping people, I think this is an amazing business, an amazing vehicle for you to make tremendous amount of money long term. I think it's going to be life changing for us. And that's why we picked up a second market. And who knows, man, we might pick up more markets down the road because of we just see it. We see the big picture. But yeah, I think anybody can do this, except if you want to get rich tomorrow for doing nothing, this is not that.
You talk about doing, I mean, you mentioned basketball as a metaphor. I could sit on the basketball court and practice for hours a day. I'll never be a very talented basketball player in spite of my height, which is a massive disappointment, let me tell you. I ask you, what is the doing you're speaking about, right? We're talking mostly phone time. If somebody is looking at that phone and thinking it's 1,000 pounds, probably not a good fit. Would that be a fair assessment of the actual day-to-day tasks? If you're comfortable actually having conversations with people and creating the win-win situations you're talking about, there's really not as much selling as one might expect. In fact, a lot of times people who aren't very talented salespeople can do quite well with this business model. It's just about having genuine connection and conversation with people. Is that true?
100%. 100%. Like, I was on the phone. I took lots of phone calls for buyers who were interested. We qualify them, and you learn all this in training. On the computer, posting on, Craigslist, social media, posting, putting out signs, driving out, putting out signs around the property. And again, like I said, phone calls on the computer. Again, I think this is what I talked about. When you value people and you value yourself, when you know you're not selling. That's what I love about Pink. It's not hard closing. They're not, it's not the sleazy car salesman perception. It's not that at all. People just see it. It just clicks. People get it like, wow. I've had a lot of sellers even think this is too good to be true. Like, you're going to help us make more money and not take any money from my bottom line. Like, it just sounds too good to be true. And you just show them it's just math. It's not magic. And so I would definitely say, again, on the phone, on the computer, but if you love people and you want the highest possible good for them, then the fear of calling somebody, you're really not getting rejected personally. That's just not the right time for them, or they want all their money out today, or it's just, and you have training and coaches and support to help you through that. And again, I go back to that. Every person I talk to, I get calls all the time from people who want to be affiliates, like, hey, tell me how it's going. And I just explain to them all the time. That's like my biggest thing, is the training and support is second to none. I've been a part of, network marketing companies. I've been a part of ministry schools. I've been a part of corporate America, and the training and support here has just been phenomenal. And they truly care. Like, they're doing it because they really want to see us win. It's not just a financial thing for them. So I think it's incredible. I think it's going to change the game. I mean, you're a smart guy. You've seen it. That's why you bring us on. That's why you put Pink on. I just think we'll be a household name, man. And we really do put people in a better situation, both buyer and seller. I hate seeing people get rejected in anything. So to help people who are getting rejected at the bank, I sleep well at night knowing we're helping people who are like, oh my gosh, I wasn't able to get a house, and thanks to you. I get like 40 calls a day. Like, we have so much more demand than we have inventory. It's just tough to keep up. But I'm sure Michael's talked to you, but we're doing some amazing things. There's been some amazing announcements. It's gotten way better since day one. And I thought when we first started Pink, it was this, we're going to be wealthy, but now they're making it better. So it's like, man, this is, it just shows you the leadership that we have, Scott is amazing. He has an amazing heart for people, man. I mean, behind closed doors, he's the same as he is in front of the camera, same as Michael. Like, their hearts are like, I know stuff behind the scenes that nobody will ever hear about. And you're just like, dude, I know I'm in the right place because these people are legit, integrity. And that's obviously a big deal for us with our values. And it's just amazing, man. And he's really helping a lot of people. Michael, the whole team, man, the team is amazing. And so we're just getting better, man. We're just sharpening and getting better. And I'm really excited about Boise. I'm excited about the masterminds. The mastermind was incredible, and it's only getting better. So a lot of announcements. You're going to have a lot of content in the next year, man.
I know. Yeah, it's a matter of trying to contain it and keep it as relevant as it can be. And it's a great problem to have. The more the merrier. I want to showcase as much of it as I can. Like you said, if you can create win-wins for people and you can create opportunity, or at least highlight opportunity that already exists, that's the name of the game. I mean, I just want to be a resource of resources. And 100%. I love people like you, man, just huge hearts. So I'm glad to hear that you're experiencing the same thing I always have. Michael and I, our relationship, I can't even believe it's been as long as it has. I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 years at this point. And I experience the same exact thing that you do. I mean, behind closed doors, the dude is just pure, genuine, good guy. He just loves business, loves to help people, loves to see success, doesn't tolerate failure. He's going to reach back, grab people by the hand, and pull them along as long as they're willing to continue to help themselves too. And that's the only time I see him grow frustrated, is when people give up on themselves.
Yeah. And it's amazing, because I have heard of people, it's like, wow, and again, for me, where I come from, it's like, for me, it's just an identity issue. It's like, dude, you don't know who you are. Like, you don't know your value, because if you did, you would never give up, and we're responsible for our choices, right? And we make those choices. We can't force people to do this. We can't force anybody to not give up. But I think when people have that mentality, it's because they lack their value, or, I didn't say this, but it's like, a lot of times I think people could look at this and go, oh, I can't be successful because of my past, or something I did in the, mistake I made, so I can't be successful now. And that's such a lie, man, and Every day is a new day. You don't live in your past. And some people are scared of success too. And that's even weird. I think I was a little bit that way in the beginning, just because I've never been around. I wasn't a millionaire. I come up, middle class. My parents are teachers, I mean, to make 30,000 to 20, just to see that check was crazy.
Yeah,
like I never made that much.
One household in one check, one deal, two deals, and you're making a decent living.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. Like just in this one deal, just with just the first payment, like some people make that in a year, which is crazy. And so, yeah, man, I mean, and that's what I saw. That's what I saw when I saw the business model. It's like, wow, you're going to make 10 to 15,000 per deal. I mean, that's crazy. Like, I don't know many places you could just do that legitimately and help people and not just yourself. And so, yeah, it's been a big blessing for us, man. And I think sky's the limit. I want to help people. Like I said, we're building a team and just help a lot of people, make their own money, because one job's not enough. I mean, Social Security is not going to be around for people like you and I and people younger than us. Like, just need multiple streams of income, man. And, not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know any other way, man. I never wanted to work for anybody else.
Yeah, and you're probably putting in far more hours than if you did, and it's still so much more rewarding than those hours that you would commit to somebody else.
Yeah.
A couple of quick points I want to mention again for those of you that haven't necessarily seen anything or much about this pink model before. Check the description below. I'll put a playlist down there. That's where you would want to start. But a couple of quick talking points. This doesn't require great credit. Doesn't require your credit at all. Number two, it is not going to require much, if any, of your own money. In fact, they have financing options where you can actually fund the business and you can get in with very little, if anything, out of your own pocket if necessary. This is not free. This is something that you have to invest in. It's a business in a box, much like a franchise model. It's considered an affiliate model, and there are two different options available. So you're going to talk a little bit about that when you email what those price tags are. They do fluctuate and they continue to go up as the demand continues to surge. This does have limitations as to the availability because it's all regional. So you heard Shawn mention that he's picked up 2 various geographical regions. When the regions are gone, they're gone. This is not something that can be oversold. It has to remain undersold. And therefore, you're going to have to find out whether or not availability even exists in the area that you intend on working. You would do that by emailing as well. Again, the email address is pink, like the color, at vipfinancialeducation.com. We created that custom email address so that I can track the emails that come through and I can see that those people are being cared for. I want to make sure that the audience is protected, even though we've done this for 3 years on the channel. Preserving the quality of what you guys are seeing and what's being delivered to you is the number one thing for me. I'm an audience advocate first. If there was not over delivery and underselling, I would not allow this to continue on the channel. And that's why it's been here for 3 and now going on its 4th year, because it's constantly exceeding my expectations. And just here proven once again through Shawn's testimonial, more and more people continue to come through this program that are seeing success and are seeing exactly what they're being told they should expect. And it's not because it happens magically. It's because people like Shawn put in the work and they take action like he stated. So if you guys are looking to get more information, send an email. Again, pink@vipfinancialeducation.com. Little to no credit required, little to no money required. You can get involved in real estate without it being this saturated, crazy market like the wholesale industry is, which is the very first thing they're going to sell you when you pay $40,000, $50,000 to go through some of the big name coaching programs. They're going to say, get involved with wholesaling and do it through your local real estate investment associations. This is a niche area inside real estate that lets you get involved in a market that's going to grow regardless of what happens economically. This is a very exciting time to be involved because they've just broken this out into what they're considering the Swiss Army knife of this specific model. It has many different areas that you can monetize now, a lot of different various income streams that are possible. Check out all the videos in the playlist, folks. Email pink@vipfinancialeducation.com. Put your first name, last name, and contact phone number in that email so their team can reach out to you and just open up the dialogue. It may be a good fit. It may not. If it's not a good fit, it isn't a win for anybody and they will turn you away. So with that being said, Shawn, I just want to say thank you again so much. I know it takes a lot of courage to get out here and just to share where you're at with things. I can't wait to bring you back on and talk about how your 2022 is going and how it went. But I'm certain that someone of your ambition level is definitely going to be exceeding goals. And that's going to be a lot of fun to continue watching.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, brother. All right,
Appreciate
guys.
you.
Everybody have a good day. Shawn, yourself included. And we'll
Thank
see you in the next one. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
What are your last couple deals? Let's go ahead and add them up. I've got the calculator in front of me right
well,
now.
Well, the last 2 deals were both FSBO flips. One of them was 38,000, and the other one was 27,000. I didn't expect that. It was unusual, but that was how it happened to be, because there were houses that was difficult for the realtors, and the realtors have tried it and couldn't make it work.
So between the 2 deals, yeah, $65,000 on those 2. So a 38 and a 27, correct?
38 and 27.
And it cost you how much?
It only cost me, for one of the transactions, it cost me a transaction, a transaction loan that cost me $2,000, and then $1,500 for a legal fee. So that was $3,500 in all.
Got it. So just net, basically, I mean, you're still north of 60
yes.
on those 2 deals?
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm very humbled by it.
Are you upset?
No, no, I'm very humbled by it because I didn't expect it. Come on, we don't expect it. If I could get 10, 15, 5, I'll grab it any day for a FSBO flip, right? It just so happened the circumstances are, and we learn to articulate the best for all parties. Yeah. In the end, nobody questions me how much I make or is unhappy because they're happy with what they're getting. You know,
so